Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to another rendition of the Bros and the Berg podcast. You might notice we have a new friendly face joining us this evening. Stranger, sir, would you care to introduce yourself?
Please, yes. My name is James Reed. I'm good college buddies with all these guys. Excited to get in and talk about it.
Now, James, what would you say your area of expertise is in the sports world?
I would say more definitely college football, a little bit in NFL by way of fantasy, but definitely college football.
Now, our listeners are well attuned to the fact that I hate fantasy. I'm
It's
actually
so
we
bad.
we got to a point that I rage sat my lineup in Dynasty this week.
This did happen.
Yeah, the noon games didn't go well, and I'm like, good. I was going to lose to the last place guy, so I just didn't let that happen. So I just benched.
You
everyone.
chose to lose. You didn't
Correct.
lose. You chose
Exactly.
to lose. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yep. So we're happy to welcome James into the podcast for the much needed college football expertise.
Any expertise, really.
Yeah, really.
Any kind.
Missed me with the MLB section.
The Braves have been out of the playoff hunt
Yeah,
for
it's
months.
done.
Like
Since the season started, essentially, they went 0-7 and never looked back. So,
that's
Over.
tough. They did start off 0-7. I'd forgotten that. That's brutal.
yep, I
Yeah.
never forget.
GG's.
Yep.
So yeah, I know we got a lot of stuff to talk about, some fun stuff at the end of the episode. So stick around or fast forward. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But Connor,
Double
what
speed.
are we starting off? Double speed. What are we starting off with today?
Ryan, as always, we're going to start off with football. Once again, James, thank you very much for being here. We are excited to have you. We are going to start out, as always, with our review from this past week. We are going to look into week 6 of college football. I would say probably one of the more unexciting weeks, except for a few key games. I think a lot of that just came from the matchups, where a lot of it was just highly ranked team versus teams that weren't ranked, and so that's just kind of the way that everything fell this week. But gentlemen, I do want to start off, obviously, you guys being alum of the school that got a big win this past weekend, a ranked matchup with Vanderbilt, nonetheless, who obviously have kind of come into their own over the last few years. Alabama did get the win 30-14 over Vanderbilt at home. Gentlemen, I would love to get your thoughts and kind of hear what you saw from this game.
Yeah, James and I watched this together, but we did say after the game we couldn't talk about it because we knew we had the
Commitment.
podcast coming up. So
Keep the takes for this little area right here. Got it.
I never thought I'd be so happy beating Vanderbilt. Like, it just felt good. It was cathartic. I mean, it was just one of the, like, if Pavia had come in and practiced kneeing before the game and beaten us, like, I actually would have crashed out.
That was crazy.
Like, that I actually would have crashed
I
out.
didn't see that clip until after the game.
I didn't either.
And I'm
Yeah,
like, that's some cojones. I mean, you gotta give
There's
it
a
to
line.
him, but
No, there's
wow.
that's crossing the line a little. It's he's the player he is because he's cocky and confident, and I respect that. But that's into the cringy aspect, especially when you lose. I think even if he'd won, it'd be a little bit like, all right, bro, come on. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of like the flag plant for a Baker Mayfield type situation. You want to
yeah.
team, but like it's not the best look you're going to have out there. But
No,
got the win, so
got the win. I think I texted this is my favorite win of the Kalen DeBoer era because,
There you go.
and my reason for that being, I think last year's team probably loses that game. So you start off, you go down the field, throw a pick, and then Vandy goes right down the field, scores. You get stopped again, and then Vandy again is driving, and then you actually get a fumble. You turn around, you make it a game at halftime, and you shut them out in the second half. Like last year's team would have been down 2 or 3 scores in the second quarter after all that happened, and would not have pulled the game out. So saw some mental fortitude from the team there. I'm excited they won, and beating a ranked team in the SEC, never going to complain about how it looked. So.
That's all you can ask for. Is it a hot take? And I've kind of said this through the season, but I am of the belief that maybe while he's not the most talented or doesn't have the most raw talent, I'm of the belief that Ty Simpson is the most NFL-ready quarterback in college in terms of what I see from him.
Before the season started, that would have been wild.
Well, yeah, of course.
Scorching,
Because he
yeah,
didn't
obviously,
play.
right?
Yeah.
For a guy, and I think this is a testament to that the idea of sitting and learning is still you can still develop into a quarterback, right? You see so many players, and obviously this is more of a thing into the NFL and first year freshmen in college just get thrown into action at the next level, and then they like just struggle because they just can't. They don't have any base, any footing.
We're looking at you, Anthony Richardson.
Right.
Damn.
I mean, who in the NIL world of today sits for 3 years behind two different quarterbacks and all of a sudden just blazes onto the scene? Dude knows the playbook. He's the natural leader. I mean, it's been awesome to see him blossom into like what he's become, and he is just a crazy accurate arm. And I don't remember his arm being that talented when we saw him in like games last year when he came in for backup duty.
Yeah.
And I think it's a positive. We're kind of taking what we learned from the Bo Nix experiment, putting him in a Heisman race this early. It's like has the numbers that are good enough. Like, why don't we talk about him like he is?
Right. I mean, like the 4 of the 5 Heisman favorites to start the year are like nowhere to be seen.
The only one left is Carson Beck.
Yeah, Carson Beck's the only one. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's also just some of those, like Ryan talks about, obviously how prepared that he just seems on a weekly basis, obviously knowing the playbook and everything like that. But he has some of those, I guess, intangible qualities that a lot of guys at the college level really don't. I guess not intangible, but like a maturity to him that a lot of guys at this age and level don't, where he keeps his eyes down the field all the time. He is staying in the pocket. He's using his blocks to his advantage. He knows when to get rid of the ball. He knows where to put the ball. Like, there are just so many things that he does that I do not see from the likes of, even Cade Klubnik, who's very talented, and obviously Clemson's struggling this season, but he's probably got significantly more talent. But I mean, but you know what I mean.
Robbie hates Clemson quarterbacks.
Hey, I was in on the Cade Klubnik hype before the year. But Ryan mentioned it too. He just has control of the offense, and like the offensive line has played well in pass protection. That's because Ty Simpson is checking pass protections in the line almost every play.
I've never seen a college quarterback audible so much, or just like change in like point out protections like that. That you just don't see that until the next level.
Yeah,
and like and that also I think points to him being like the son of a coach. I think is a really interesting point that he, they talked about it in the broadcast a little bit. If you didn't watch it, but his dad's the head coach at UT Martin. They talked about him like not going to play there for his dad or whatever, because his dad's like, he's not coachable and whatever. But just growing up around that in a football minded family, like that speaks. Obviously, he's paying dividends.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very good point. Surprising insight from Ryan, to be totally honest.
Okay.
We're gonna.
That's crazy.
We're gonna on his birthday.
A well fleshed out take. That's not what we do on this podcast.
We're gonna chop that up and post it to TikTok and
get crucified. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the other ranked matchup of this past weekend. We got to talk about it. Miami visiting Florida State and getting a win 28-22 over Florida State. I do got to hand it to Florida State. I think they gave a better effort than a lot of people might have expected out of them, but ultimately Miami did pull this one out.
I mean, talk about a fourth quarter team.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it looked really good there at the end.
19 points in the last quarter. I mean, that's just
tried to storm back.
Tried to. I mean, you could, I guess some people might attribute it to almost garbage time, but at the same time, when you make it a 1-score game, I don't think you can make that argument where it becomes a garbage time game. So Florida State, I mean, showing some resilience that I don't think a lot of people expected out of them this year, but Miami's good. Like, as much as maybe people like me wanted to discount them before the season, like Carson Beck is playing significantly better than I think some people expected out of him this year.
75% completion percentage, 4 tutties versus a top 20, in-state rival. I mean, I don't think you can ask for more from your quarterback. And I think Castellanos had his best game of the year against Alabama, and I think he's still a very good quarterback. I think he just tries to do a little too much at times.
Do you think part of that, though, is just the talent level of Florida State? He almost has to.
I agree.
This is definitely not the most talented Florida State team.
I mean, they struggle in the run game outside. I mean, he's got some legs as well. He's very talented dual threat, but they seem to struggle getting the halfbacks going.
Yeah.
Also, I think this game, obviously Miami is very good. They're going to make the college football playoff. They're probably going to be highly ranked. But this game shows you why they're not going to win a national championship, because Mario Cristobal cannot help himself but to curl up in a little ball at the end of games and just not keep trying to win. Like he did the same thing against Notre Dame. He just runs the ball twice and then all of a sudden airs it out like no one knows that that's what's coming, and then lets him right back in the game again. I mean, you just at some point he has to learn to keep his foot on the gas, which he just hasn't really done yet.
So what you're saying is if the Hurricanes go up 3 scores at any point, you should live bet the other team to cover.
Yeah, I think that's a solid bet, actually. With Cristobal as the coach, I think that's a really good bet.
Okay,
I think if you're a Miami fan, you'd almost rather be in a close game because you probably are more talented than the other team versus being up like 2 scores. Like you're probably just going to lose that lead, more than likely.
Yeah. Good take.
Yeah, nice. Let's talk about some of the other games here. Obviously, we got to talk about the one that went into overtime this past weekend. Virginia barely pulling it out against Louisville, 30-27. Props to the Cavaliers for coming out on the other side of this one, handing Louisville their first loss of the season, away no less. So that's always a hard-earned fight. So, anything from this game specifically you guys wanted to address?
I think we should specifically talk about our records from the last week. I didn't get a chance to say that before we went into breaking down all the college football games.
We haven't gotten to the Pick'em review yet, so you're just preemptively bragging.
Is that the Pick'em review?
I generally say what your records are, yes.
So you're just actually does his job.
Yeah, I do. The one job that I have, I do.
Damn.
Put the hammer down.
Damn.
No, let's hear about your stupid picks, Ryan.
You're bad.
You're bad.
I mean, another kind of fourth quarter comeback here with the Cardinals scoring 10 in the fourth quarter to make it an overtime game. Their quarterback having 48 pass attempts. I mean, that's a lot for a college quarterback to be slinging it that much. I mean, completed 34 of those, so a relatively decent completion percentage. But definitely within that division, I would say like the second tier of teams within that division. Would you agree with that, or kind of around
in the
that
ACC?
second?
You mean?
Yeah.
I think so.
Probably.
I'd say we didn't really mention them, but Florida State's now 0-2 in the ACC.
Yes, yes,
that's probably gonna be tough to come back from to actually make the conference championship game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like Georgia Tech, but I hear you on Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Louisville does travel to Miami next week to take on the Canes. So another top 25 matchup coming on the heels of their other one. Close game, like I said, overtime. I don't know if you saw any highlights, but the Louisville receiver, Chris Bell, dog.
Yeah.
Absolute dog.
Scouting.
Yeah, no.
NFL talent.
He had 12 catches, 170 yards, and 2 tutties against Virginia, which is quite a stat line. And I saw some pretty incredible catches. So
this game was like kind of on. We were waiting for the Alabama game to come on, and I saw like Mel Kiper's big board pop up, and they called him out, and I was like, I can keep my eye on this guy. So now he's in the scouting report. Now we'll keep an eye out.
Yeah. Ryan kind of mentioned that Louisville obviously is going to Miami this next week. It's funny because I feel like specifically with the ACC, and I do actually remember in our college football playoff prediction videos, like talking about some of the schedules throughout the season, and specifically Miami before the season, we had attributed to honestly have a pretty weak schedule. I think it's actually turned into one of the strongest. I think the ACC, especially the top half, is significantly better than we gave them credit for before the season started.
Are they though?
Let's hear it, Rob.
True.
Let's hear it.
I remember just seeing a post kind of after non-conference, quote unquote, ended. Obviously, there's some throughout the year, and like the ACC had the worst record against the rest of the Power Four of any of the Power Four conferences. Like Florida State was the only one with a win. Obviously, it's a great win for Florida State. It looks like it right now, at least. But now all of a sudden they're beating up on each other. Now we're convinced that we're all good. I don't know. I don't know if I buy it.
Yeah. I think it's fair. We need to look at some of the other. I mean, I can't imagine there are that many other out of conference matchups for them, like or good out of conference matchups for them past this point. So I guess we will see
for Miami
or for the ACC in general.
Yeah,
I'm just meaning.
I would imagine so, but it definitely seems like right now in the ACC it's Miami and then like question marks, right?
Really, Miami only has Louisville left on the schedule, and that's it. Like that's all they got
before this point, though. They had a better schedule before this point.
Right.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
What were you saying, James?
I was going to say, I just don't think we're talking enough about Georgia Tech in the ACC conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, they're rolling through. They've got Georgia at the end of the year, which is telling, but they're the upset masters we've learned so far. And they're, undefeated ACC currently.
Yeah.
Hayes King for Heisman, I think.
Dude, I agree. Yeah. Do they find a way to get it done against Georgia this year? Can they do it?
I think they can get to a point where they have a Georgia team either riding a little bit too high or one that's just itching to get into the playoffs, maybe do something a little bit too crazy and drop the game. Because Georgia Tech's going to play their game.
I think it's winner of that game goes to the college football playoff.
I could see that.
I agree.
We could see like a 9-2 or 8-3 Georgia theoretically. Like that's not out of the question. For Georgia Tech will probably have 1 or 2 losses at that point. So yeah, I think that's
Georgia
pretty
Tech
possible.
Hosting
Tech also doesn't have.
No, it's in Atlanta. It's like, but they're not. It's not at their campus. It's in Mercedes, which sucks for them.
Yeah,
because Mercedes is going to be mostly Georgia fans.
Yeah.
Correct.
Dang, that's tough. But to talk about, there is really only, there's a few other that I'll just kind of run through, but there's one more I do want to talk about a little more in depth, is the Iowa State. Ryan got baited. Baited.
He got baited.
Listen,
from now on, if one of us says, I think I'm getting baited, I shouldn't bet on this, and I'm going to, we need to stop them because we say it every single time.
I identify it.
As a podcast, can we all commit to not getting baited anymore?
God, I was like, this is just like the Browns versus Packers game. I know I'm getting baited. I'm still going to fall for it. It's the cheese. I'm the rat.
Someone's got to make donations to the sports books. How do they stay open?
Exactly. The Big 12 matchup of Cincinnati winning over number 22 ranked Iowa State 38-30. Wasn't Cincinnati supposed to be terrible? Maybe they still are.
I was going to say, there's a lot of Cincinnati slander on this podcast up until this point. I think that might have been a little disrespectful.
I don't know, man. I still don't have much faith. They've had 2 decent wins over Iowa State and Kansas, but the Big 12 is just so bad. It's so bad other than Texas Tech this year. And so I just don't.
And BYU?
When the hell did BYU get ranked?
Undefeated.
I literally just saw that. I'm like, they're 18?
Well, a lot of other teams lost in front of them.
Yeah, correct.
Let's walk through BYU's schedule together, team, as one.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's not good.
Portland State.
69-0. Nice.
Stanford at home.
Okay.
At East Carolina, which I remember seeing that and being like, what the hell are the Mormons doing in Greenville? It's not a place for them to be. And then Colorado and West Virginia. Oof. Like, that's just not instilling a lot of confidence in me that they're the 18th best team in the country, but here we are.
I don't know if those 5 teams combined have 10 wins.
They might not.
By the end of the I don't think
they truly might not. That's crazy.
Might not.
That is crazy. But I think honestly, more than anything, that's just a telltale sign of just how bad that the Big 12 is. And I don't think that really means anything else. Obviously, we talked a little bit about Iowa State's ability, and they've always had the ability where maybe they don't score much. They're not the flashiest school, but they do manage to just kind of pull wins out. That's kind of just been Iowa State's MO over the last probably decade, I would say.
Since Matt Campbell's been there.
Yeah, since Matt Campbell's been there, exactly. But Cincinnati, even though that they aren't the best team overall, you can't deny the win, 2 good wins back to back over I would say here in Kansas. So I guess we'll see by the end of the year kind of where it shakes out in the Big 12, but everyone's just going to beat up on each other. And so I don't know if I see a lot lot I don't see if they're
it's a one bid league.
That's what I mean. There's no way there's another entry in the CFP. So a few more just to kind of quickly go over, not necessarily go in depth. BYU, as we just talked about, ranked with their win over West Virginia. Illinois, they're trying to come back from that Indiana loss, so 43-27 over
Big test this week.
The big test this week, absolutely. Georgia 35-14 over Kentucky. Michigan 24-10 over Wisconsin.
Two of the big ones that we got to talk about.
We haven't even talked about the upsets yet.
That's what I'm waiting for. I'm chomping at it. The Florida beating Texas.
Let's start there, and we'll save the big one for last.
Yeah,
Bobby's super dog.
That was a hell of a pick by me. Also, we'll get to that in a second. In the Gaslight Bowl, DJ Lagway gaslit us slightly less than Arch Manning did.
The What If Bowl.
The What If Bowl.
The
preseason Heisman Bowl.
If your last name, puts you in the Hall of Fame Bowl.
Oh man, what did we see in the game between Texas and Florida? Where obviously Florida
bunch of mid, a bunch of mid.
I saw a 2 4-4 SEC teams is what I saw. Mm-hmm. That's what I saw in this game.
Yeah.
You always got to call it a safety when you see it too. Like there's a reason that happened. The reason you don't see them too often.
Yep.
So Florida beat Texas 29-20. Texas fans
21.
They're not back,
and they're unranked now, as they should be.
Yes, I agree. They should not be ranked.
And riddle me this, and you're gonna have to stop me here. The Red River rivalry this week.
Mm-hmm.
The Longhorns are favored by a point and a half.
It's because Mateer might still not play.
Yes. Doesn't matter.
That's kind of how I feel too. He might play though. It is up in the air. Mateer might play this weekend.
I don't know, man. I still think the paper is just kind of nuts, especially when they're the number 6 team in the country.
That Oklahoma defense against Arch too. That just feels like a mismatch right now. Yeah.
3-pick day.
Just eating up on it. Yeah, so I don't know, man.
I didn't even put that in the pick 'em, did I? That's on me, guys.
That's a huge miss.
That's a huge miss by me. It's because Texas isn't ranked. I said, fuck I don't want to put that in.
Doesn't matter. Who cares?
Actually. So yeah, what do you guys? I want to pose this question to the floor. What do you guys think Arch's single biggest problem is as a quarterback?
Steve Sarkisian. No, I'm just kidding.
he's a contributing factor. It
definitely. I think they tried to give him the reins to the offense this offseason. It seems like he probably wasn't ready for that and is now just overthinking everything. I mean, that's kind of what it seems like to me. I think the physical gifts are there. Yeah, go ahead, James.
My apologies. I was just going to say, I'm in the same vein as you in that point that I think that the overhype has gotten to him to the point where he thinks he's supposed to perform and can't. He thinks it's almost like got the yips at some point, like you think you can bowl good, so you bowl bad type situation. He thinks he should be as good as he is, and he can't get to that level.
All right, here's another take for you. He did too many commercials this offseason and didn't practice enough.
Hey, get that bag, man. Like, come on. He's not getting drafted anymore.
He doesn't need that bag. What does he need a bag for? He's a Manning. Come on.
Exactly. I saw somebody that was breaking it down, and I also kind of noticed it when I was watching him. He holds on to the ball for so long. It is absurd how long he holds on to the ball for. He just doesn't have that internal clock, and he also has a bit of a weird, he doesn't zip the ball out.
They changed his throwing motion this offseason. Which is weird. And it seems like he hasn't, now he's thinking too hard about that too. It's we're gonna give you a full playbook you have to master, and we're gonna change your arm slot and how you throw the ball. Yeah, that's just a lot to put on anyone, let alone a sophomore quarterback.
And you have the most expectations of any quarterback ever. Yeah. So it's kind of it's just.
So I had a question about Texas and Florida in general. Is Florida's run defense really good, or can Texas physically not run the ball? So just like box score wise, Texas had 26 carries. Arch had 15 of those carries and had a long of 36. He had a 36-yard run. Arch had 15 carries for 37 yards, and the rest of his team ran the ball for 11 yards or 15 yards.
Keep in mind that includes his 6 sacks.
Yeah, I get it, but they're averaging 2 yards a carry right now. But the
Florida defense is good. I don't think there's any doubt the Florida defense is good.
Yeah.
Nobody scored at the point over 30 against them.
Yeah, and I think we're at the point of the season now where they have to play to save Billy Napier's job, so they play better. Which, if they could just get past that and do it at the beginning of the year, Florida might have something cooking, but they have to wait until there's literally text leaking that Billy Napier's getting fired on Monday, and then they start realizing they should actually start playing.
Oklahoma State's future coach.
Okay, let's not talk about Oklahoma State.
I think that's a good hire. I'm not gonna lie. I think that'd be a fantastic hire for Oklahoma State. I don't think he'll go there, but I think it'd be a great hire.
So yeah, we will move on to the next one. Robbie, do you wanna intro us into this game?
So I gotta give a shout out to James too, because he told me that this would have been a Superdog pick last week as well. I know he wasn't on the podcast to confirm that, but we're just gonna take his word for it. So shout out to you, James, for this pick.
And by hindsight,
biggest upset so far of the year, probably. I think it has to be.
I think it's for sure ranked dog of the year.
UCLA beating Penn State at home 42-37. We said James Franklin might get fired if they lose to Ohio State later this year. There's no way he survives this year. Unless he goes on a Ryan Day run and wins the national championship, he has to be gone. I
need some apologies from the Penn State fans on some of our TikToks. Once again, I'm just being proven right. He can't win big games, and
Drew Aller's bad. Drew Aller's really bad.
We knew this.
We did.
Penn State fans were upset that the backup quarterback left to go to Mizzou. That should tell you they were like, "Oh, no way, that dude's not going to the draft." Fuck. How many schools are upset that their quarterback is returning to not go to the NFL draft?
Us last year when Alan Bowman.
Well, that man backed up Mahomes. That's how ancient that dude was.
Correct. Yeah.
We also let Nico Amali for a bag score 5 touchdowns. That's crazy.
Did we not see how that dude played against Georgia?
Oh my god.
I mean, add all this on to the fact that UCLA is also sporting an interim head coach. Just makes Franklin look even worse.
2 weeks ago, people were like UCLA is going to go 0-12. There's not a win left on this schedule for them to have. And then they beat Penn State. Listen, James Franklin thought he was in the Rose Bowl, thought it was a big game, and choked. It's not that complicated. It's really, really simple.
Did you see that? Did you see that field rush?
Oh, I didn't.
What, of the 100 fans there?
That's come on now.
There was 5 security guards for the 100 fans, and you saw this one security guard who started chasing after his dad and his 6-year-old. It's what are we doing? What are we doing?
Come on. Just let it happen, man. Come on.
Let it happen, dude.
It's Penn State. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover from this past week.
Last game I want to just briefly touch on. Sure. Texas A&M beating Mississippi State 31-9.
It's a good win.
Are the Aggies for real? Mississippi State hasn't, I think they've done better than people actually expected. They're sitting at 4-2 now. What do we think about Texas A&M?
I think they probably are for real. I think we find out a lot. This feels weird to say because they're playing a 2-3 Florida, but I think we find out a lot about Texas A&M this weekend against Florida.
I agree.
I think we find out a lot.
Florida seems to be a necessary hurdle for all the SEC teams to get over, whether they're going to be good or not. It seems.
And like I said, they're playing Billy Napier hot seat Florida, which is a top 5 team in the country. So.
Exactly. I have a good buddy of mine, shout out Will, that goes to A&M, and he's talked about how the team looks better than it has, but he never gets his hopes up for A&M just because that's the classic.
A smart man.
Yeah, exactly.
Smart man.
But he also talks about how Marcel Reed, their starting quarterback, is just one of the streakiest players he's ever seen, to where he'll throw 4 touchdowns and then go out and throw 2 picks, and then the other team will come back and then he'll lead a game-winning drive. So it's going to come down to him if they're gonna be successful through the rest of the season. But that kind of wraps up our week 6 preview or review. Good Lord. Kind of crazy how fast the season is going. Kind of scary, I'll be totally honest, but we're marching through it right now. Going over some of the big changes in the AP Poll Top 25. Obviously, with the loss, Florida State fell to number 25. South Florida and Memphis at 24 and
Memphis
23
mentioned,
respectively.
Memphis mentioned.
Memphis mentioned. Yeah. Iowa State after the loss at 22, kind of normal up until this point. One of the biggest changes being a lot of teams moved up 5, Michigan, Notre Dame, Illinois, BYU, nothing unorthodox there. As James kind of mentioned earlier, Georgia Tech having a quietly very successful season. They're at number 13 right now, so we'll see how they fare through the rest of the season. The rest of the top 10, remaining relatively unchanged. So no crazy movement in the AP Poll Top 25.
Oregon lost a bye week, by the way.
Yeah, they did. They did drop a spot after the bye week. But yeah, we're going to get into college football week 7. That includes our pick'em as well as our super dogs. Robbie, I'm going to swing it over to you.
Yeah. So Ryan, do you want to take your victory?
No, you can do what you're supposed to do. That's what make.
So all around great week for the fellas. Both Connor and I went 4-1 on the week.
Yep.
And Ryan with the 5-0 on the week. Fantastic
there
work.
It is. Love to hear it.
However, as mentioned, James and I hit a super dog last week. So that is going to put us in the lead right now. So I have 19 points. Connor has 16 points. Ryan has 16 points. Only super dog separating us was I think we had each hit one previous to this week, and I just have one extra now. So
yep.
Skill issue, get good. Never see you guys again. All right. So headed into this week.
It's crazy.
There's some good matchups this week, and there's also just some kind of like sneaky fun matchups. So we're going to start off with a sneaky fun matchup on Friday night. USF, ranked 24th in the nation, visiting the undefeated North Texas Mean Green in Denton, Texas. Got that unlocked, got that locked in. Friday at 7:30. Sorry, before we get into this, actually, we'll mention how we'll handle James's score here. I think we're just going to have a little celeb leaderboard, kind of like College Game Day does. We're ripping them off already with the Super Dogs. We'll just have a little celeb scoreboard, and we'll have to either have some people come on and just do picks, or maybe text us in some picks for the week. We'll get a little leaderboard going, and we'll have some bragging rights at the end. Whoever has the most points, I think, gets to come back on at the end of the season for the playoff preview. I think that's only right.
Sure.
Love that.
That's a great plan. I'll at least be one for 1 week.
You guaranteed number one. All right, so like I mentioned, South Florida visiting North Texas, 7:30 on Friday. Who wants to go first?
I think we should let the guests go first for the first pick.
Oh, how kind! Yeah,
I threw your wrench for the first one. Had to make it hard on you.
Yeah, this is hard.
A 5-0 team in like an American Conference matchup with a 5-0 team and a 4-1 team. But I've thought South Florida has been the truth since I saw them first play the first game in college football this year, and I think they looked really good. And I'm sticking with them. I think South Florida takes it.
There you go, Ryan. You got something?
The one thing that I'm certain about that's going to happen in this game is there will be points. The line is set at 68.5.
Crazy.
Both of these teams can score in a hurry. The Battle of the Green, the Battle of the American Conference, Friday night in Denton, Texas. I mean, who could ask for a better environment than that?
You can't draw it up better than that. You really can't
draw it up.
That right there is college football at its finest.
It's been a while since North Texas has had anything to be really excited about, and the fact that they're undefeated hosting a ranked team, I think the Mean Green get it done. I really do think that they have a shot to shock the world, put their name on it, and roll out of this 6-0 and have a pretty easy schedule the rest of the way if they can get past this. So I'm taking the Mean Green.
I am going to have to agree with Ryan there. If this was Saturday big noon kickoff, I'm taking USF every day of the week. The fact that this is at a Friday night in Denton, Texas, I think that North Texas takes it. Granted, South Florida obviously having some significantly better wins and performances, obviously against beating Florida, beating Boise State, a decent loss to Miami, but that's one of the best teams in the country nonetheless. But North Texas, man, I just feel like they've got something undefeated. I think they're going to keep that ball rolling. Friday night, it's always scary on a Friday night in Texas. So I'm going to take the Mean Green there also.
I think the two redheads here are just wrong. I don't really know what we're getting at here. I'm going to go with James here in South Florida. It's going to be rocking in Denton, Texas on Friday night. There's no doubt about it. But South Florida's already been to the Swamp and Miami. Like, they're not going to be intimidated at all by what's going on in Denton, Texas. I can promise you that. I think they're the more talented team. I think they're a little more battle tested. They were the kind of the favorite to make the college football player for the G5 for like the first 3 weeks. I think they still have a really good shot to do that. I think we know that that representative is going to be coming out of the American unless like Old Dominion runs the table kind of thing. But I'm going to go with USF here, just more talented, more battle tested. I think it'd be a great game, but I think they have what it takes to pull it out.
Yeah.
Up next, the big noon kickoff game. First time in a couple weeks we've had a really big noon kickoff game. Like we've kind of had a couple random ones here lately. Ohio State traveling to Champaign to take on the Illinois Fighting Illini.
If you don't mind, I would like to go first on this one. So throughout the entire, if you've been listening to the podcast over the last couple of weeks, I've always been of the opinion if you picked one of the teams, especially a sleeper like Illinois to go to the CFP, you got to stick with them through the season. If they're not out of contention, then you just got to stick with them. They're not beating Ohio State. It's just not happening. They've had a very good resurgence over the past 2 weeks, especially after, what happened in Indiana. I think they've caught their stride and caught their footing again. Ohio State is one of the best teams in the country, and I just don't see Illinois, even though that they are at home. I think they could put up a fight. I certainly think there are going to be points that are scored in this game, but I do think that Ohio State just has too much talent for Illinois to overcome. So I'm going with Ohio State.
We've disrespected Ohio State the last couple weeks. We've picked them as their super dog the last 2 weeks. At least one of us has. I think, again, Illinois is going to cover 14.5 is a lot. I could see this being a 14-point game.
Back to the well.
It's not my super dog, but I did think about it. But to Connor's point, Ohio State, too talented. I don't think it's outlandish to say they are the best team in the country, and by somewhat of a margin to me at this point. So I'm going to go with the Buckeyes.
Yeah, wish I could be different here, but for all the reasons my fellow podcasters said, I think I'm going to have to go with the Buckeyes here.
I'm in the same boat. I mean, I really do think Ohio State turns this into a statement game for them, something they could keep in the pocket for the rest of the season.
I really was hoping James was going to hit us with the coldest not so fast ever right there. That would have been awesome. But
he's got that saved.
Yeah.
Give him a second, yeah.
He's Missouri Tigers. No, all right. Next game up, the aforementioned Missouri Tigers hosting the Alabama Crimson Tide, an 8 versus 14 matchup in Columbia. Noon kickoff, which is kind of gross, but here we are.
Here we are.
Just like we're in the Big Ten. Who wants to go first?
I think Ryan needs to go first now.
There you go.
So I'm picking the Tide because I physically can't bring myself to pick against Alabama. But Alabama has to figure out how to slow the run down. I'm very worried about Ahmad Hardy running for 200 yards on us on Saturday.
To be fair, they slowed down Vanderbilt in the second half. They figured it out.
We made some adjustments. Obviously, first half, Vanderbilt watched some film. They're obviously very, very talented team over there. But, I look forward to seeing what our front seven can do against their running game. I'm not worried about our offense. I think our offense will be just fine. This line started at 5.5. It's moved down to 2.5. So money is being put on the Tigers. It's also the total is sitting at 52.5. So definitely much to think about, but I got to go with the Tide. Can't do it yet.
I'll take it next because I hear what you're saying, and I do agree with you wholeheartedly. I think the Tide's going to win, and I think it's going to be decisive. To be upfront with you, not because I'm a Tide fan, because I think the scheme against Vandy and the scheme against Georgia was to allow the 6-yard, the 7-yard, the 8-yard run, and not give up the deep ball to two very good quarterbacks. We don't have that issue now with Missouri. We have to stop the run with Missouri. I think the whole game plan up to this point is, okay, let's turn it on. We've been soft on it. And now it's time to actually get down to business and stop him from running. And I think that's what we're going to do.
Make Prabula beat us. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I can see it.
I'm also obviously taking the Tide. We got to finish some drives though. I mean, Vandy could have been out of that game early in the second half last week if they had just scored a couple of touchdowns rather than 3 field goals. Got to finish drives. Missouri, obviously Ahmad Hardy, I think is really good. He's ran the ball very well. Not exactly against the best of run defenses so far.
Sure.
I think this will be by far the most physical team that Missouri has seen so far. So I think if Alabama can kind of come out early, slow that run down, I think to James's point, I think you almost sell out against the run early and make Bo Prabula beat you. I think that's exactly what they'll do. I think 2.5 is a little disrespectful. I think this line should probably have stayed at 5.5. And I think Alabama gets it done.
Not so fast. I am going to take the Missouri Tigers. I think that Alabama has finally come to a point where I feel like they are more comfortable within themselves, and I'm not denying that at all. I think there's something to be said about I have a gut feeling of a Cinderella run for the Missouri Tigers this year. I think that Alabama, well, like I said, has gotten more comfortable. There are still a lot of bonehead plays that I'm seeing, whether that just be from Ryan Williams getting the yips sometimes where he's dropping the occasional ball. or I'm seeing on the defensive side where, it's a missed assignment, things like this. I don't think Missouri, while I think Alabama is clearly the more talented team, I don't think Missouri is making those kinds of mistakes this season. I think Missouri is a very well-oiled, fine-tuned machine this year. And honestly, I think that they are just going to play a cleaner game than Alabama is. And I mean, there's no way they beat Alabama by more than a field goal. Like, I don't think it's going to be anything like that, but I could definitely see it happening. Like we said, that rush attack is just so strong. And we'll see if Bama can hold up to it. But yeah, that's my hot take. I'm going with Missouri over the.
We can just end
here.
the podcast here. I don't want to talk counter anymore.
Tough. That's really tough.
I know. I'm sorry.
Disrespect the guest. I'm never coming back.
It's a great. Yeah.
All right. Next up, probably the game of the weekend, top 10 matchup, depending on what you think of Indiana. But Indiana traveling Eugene to play the Oregon Ducks at 3:30 Eastern.
Robbie,
I haven't gone first, so I guess I haven't gone first yet. Yeah, I don't believe in Indiana. Just don't at all, really, to be honest with you. Especially in Eugene at Autzen. It'll be rocking 7.5 for Oregon. That's not enough points for me. Just not. I like the Ducks by a couple of touchdowns. I think Dante Moore gets it done. Probably cements himself as the Heisman favorite halfway through the season.
Yeah, possibly.
So I like the Ducks.
Yeah, big Duck guy here. I think I was the highest on the Ducks coming into the season when we did our preseason rankings. I too am not 100% a believer in Indiana. Oregon has just fired on all cylinders so far. I don't see how that slows down this weekend.
James, why don't you go?
So I do not agree. I do believe Indiana, and I do think Indiana's going to get it. Oregon's riding high off a game they think they maybe should not have won. They're going to be huge on it. I think the hype of that and getting over one of the best teams in the nation is going to get to them. They're playing at home, a little more comfortable, and I think Indiana's going to be able to shock them quick, and they're going to be able to catch back up.
Yeah, I like that. Very well reasoned. Almost making me want to change my pick, but I am going to stick with the Oregon Ducks. I think that Oregon has proven themselves as one of the most explosive teams in college football this year. Not always the cleanest, but definitely have some of the most talented guys on the offensive side of the ball. Indiana is very much about that no nonsense, not going to be flashy style of football. But I do look at their win last week over only beating Iowa by 5 points, and I do grow a little concerned of that. I just don't know if the talent is necessarily there for Indiana when you go up against somebody like Oregon. So I am gonna go with Oregon there.
All right, last game. The Michigan Wolverines traveling out west to play USC in LA. 7:30 kick on NBC.
James goes first
no one wants to touch this game with a 10-foot pole, and I don't blame you.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. I'll definitely go. I know coming off for USC is going to be big, but I do have Michigan winning this one 100%. I think the USC win was a fluke. I'm not sure it's 100% what it was supposed to have, flash in the pan, if you will. And Michigan's going to come back and do what they do.
Ryan, you want to go?
No, not really.
I'll go.
To be honest, I don't.
I'll go. My heart says that USC is going to win this game. However, until I see a Lincoln Riley USC team beat a team that they're theoretically evenly matched with I do think that on paper in the talent department, USC and Michigan are pretty evenly matched. I can't pick USC until I see them do it because they haven't done it since Lincoln Riley's been there. For that reason, I'm going with Michigan. Bryce Underwood's already had a tough road test at Oklahoma. Obviously didn't play well. The Coliseum ain't Norman, Oklahoma, so I don't really have too many concerns about him with that. So I got the Wolverines here.
I am going to have to reluctantly agree. Reluctantly, just because this game sounds disgusting, to be totally honest. I just don't view Michigan as the 15th best team in the country. Like, I just don't see that at all. Relatively weak wins in their last two opponents in Wisconsin and Nebraska. But to Robbie's point, I mean, Lincoln Riley hasn't proven anything to me, like especially not this year. And Michigan, well. I don't think that necessarily as hyped up as their ranking, showcases. I do think that they are a more kind of complete unit and probably better coached team at this point. So I'm going to have to give it to Michigan there.
I think I will probably have to go with Michigan too. I'm not necessarily thrilled about picking either of these games, but
yeah,
I think Michigan does get it done. To the point of what Robbie said, I will believe it when I see USC win games. There's bigger games. I did want to point out I had a stat for the Oregon game that I forgot to mention. Oregon is coming off a bye. Since 2020, Oregon is 7-1 coming off a bye, and have had some pretty big wins in that time. So
you're saying there's a chance 7-1? I mean, there's a chance. I'm just saying. I do want to point out a line that caught my eye. It's not in Superdog conversation, but Georgia only 3.5 against Auburn. I mean, I know it's in Jordan Hare. I get it, but like 3.5, really? I don't know.
Do you think Auburn's better?
Are we getting worse? Are we getting baited again? We're getting baited. Are we getting baited again?
Oh, 100%.
I think we're getting baited again. Yeah. All right. Now on to everyone's.
I'm sorry. I want to amend one of mine. I read a wrong note. I read a UCLA note for USC. They did not win last week. I want to put that back out there.
For sure.
Still picking Michigan. I just want to make sure.
Good catch. All right, now to everyone's favorite part of the pick'em: the super dogs, the underdogs. Everyone loves an underdog story. Rudy, Miracle on Ice, you name it, we love them. So,
sports movie reference.
Well, James and I were actually just talking about best football movies of all time last week. Nice. So I did have Rudy on top of mind. Not one of the best of all time, but it did have to be mentioned.
Sure.
Who wants to go first? Let's let our guest go first. So no one snipes his pick here.
Yeah, that's actually a great point. I believe it. My super dog this week is the NC State Wolfpack versus the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
I like it.
I do.
Welcome to the pod. He's arrived.
Good thing you went first because that was mine.
Really? It's a good matchup.
It's a good matchup.
All right, to the drawing board.
We are James. As you know, we are Notre Dame haters on this podcast. That's a great.
Whoa! I'm
Connor's
not
a me rider. He's a me rider, but
I'll join in. They're not my favorite either. 21.5 spread. I don't know. Something about NC State's really looking good, especially to your point earlier of the ACC being back, question mark. This could tell us a lot about that.
Yeah, it's true.
I totally agree. Totally agree there. Do you want me to go, Robbie, while Ryan's
go ahead? Yeah,
please.
In a matchup that I think will result in a ranked team, remaining winless in their conference, I'm taking Pitt over Florida State.
Wow.
It's a 10.5 spread. And obviously, like we say, you still get points if they just cover, but obviously you get more if they win. It's 10.5. I think Pitt has had a good enough season to where that could really be the case. I think this is the point in the season where Florida State just stumbles. And I don't think they're going to kind of be able to make their way back. I mean, the Pitt's losses on the season, they only lost by one score, both to West Virginia and to Louisville. And obviously, West Virginia is not the best team in the world, but let's be real, like, Florida State, I feel like since the first 3 games have not looked nearly as good as they did in the early season. And I think that stumble continues this weekend. They haven't really shown me anything otherwise. They are at home, so that's always a little bit scary. But I mean, I also think that Pitt is always one of those teams that somehow pulls upsets out of nowhere. So I think that that's going to happen this weekend. So I got Pitt there at the 10.5 spread.
So I went to the Sicko well last week and it panned out for me. So we're going right back to the Sicko well here. You can get into this game for $10 in Dallas, Texas this weekend. The Stanford Cardinal traveling to Dallas, Texas to take on the SMU Mustangs. Listen, Stanford hasn't looked great this year. I'm not going to say that they've looked great. However, they're coming off a bye week. It's a weird early kick for both teams. Just kind of a random noon game thrown in there. SMU, I think, has been a little disappointing so far this year, coming off that ACC championship appearance last year. I don't know why 19.5 felt like a lot to me. I could see this being like a 17-point game. Wouldn't surprise me, but I'm going to take Stanford at plus 19.5 against the Mustangs.
Definitely possible. Nice. Let's see if Ryan has managed to pull something out here in a short time span.
Man, I found something.
Come on, pull the trigger.
We're going to the Fun Belt.
Yeah, we are.
And we're going for a team that is 9-1 all time against their opponent, and they're currently at over a 2-touchdown dog. Mm-hmm. We're going to go to pick the Marshall Thundering Herd to cover 14.5 against ODU. At home.
Not an ODU believer here.
Not an ODU believer. Marshall is 7-4 all time after buys since 2020. They're 7-4 after buys. Yeah, that's what we're going with. When absolutely had nothing else to potentially look at. I looked at Washington State like plus 32. I think they lose by more than that. Washington State's really fucking bad.
He lost North Texas 69-10.
Yeah, no, I mean boat race, belt to ass. So yeah, we're going with Marshall, boys. That's what we figured out.
We don't have enough Fun Belt content on this podcast anyway, so I love that pick. I think it's a great pick.
I think the Thundering Herd, great name, truly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, facts.
Yeah. Unique.
Another great football movie, We Are Marshall, by the way, since we were talking about football movies. So
there you go. Yeah, I guess some of the, just to run through, obviously that was our Pick'em and Super Dogs, but we do, I feel like there is an obligation as college football fans to mention the Red River rivalry is taking place this weekend between Oklahoma and Texas. Texas favored, to Robbie's point before we started recording the podcast. Obviously, Mateer might not be back for this weekend, so that's a lot of the reasoning there. Can we just throw this as like an honorary run? It's an honorary discussion about Texas, Oklahoma.
Mateer plays, Oklahoma wins. Mateer doesn't play. I give Texas like a 25% chance.
There it is. So Oklahoma, just going to Oklahoma the whole way.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah,
that's fair. If I had
Can't
to pick,
disagree. Hate picking Oklahoma. I really
I know against Texas, I'm kind of okay with picking Oklahoma, to be honest with you.
I mean, it's funny because, like, you think in the past, obviously, both teams separating from the Big 12 a few years ago, and back when they were within that conference, it was always shootout. Obviously, now with Mateer being out and that Texas offense not being what it was supposed to be, I think the line is over under like 42.5.
Correct.
Which you would have never seen that like 3 years ago between these two teams. It's just crazy how much that the programs have changed in this short time span. So
meanwhile, South Florida and North Texas is almost 70.
Yeah. Jeez.
And which game would you rather watch? South Florida.
I know where I'll be Friday night.
Yeah, correct. Tuned in.
But yeah, we will move on from that. That's kind of our college football in summations. We will move on to our parlays. What you come here for? You come here to lose money. That's all you need.
I can't keep doing this, man. I can't.
Did anyone hit last week?
I don't remember.
I went 2 for 3.
I can't remember what mine was.
We didn't talk about it all, but I did pick Florida to beat Texas. That was
there you go.
I got that. Then was fooled, hornswoggled, wool over my eyes with the Cincinnati Iowa State game. And then I forget what else I picked.
That was
probably didn't.
I know ours didn't hit. Connor, did yours hit or no?
I do not know. I don't think so. My phone is dead right now. So unfortunately,
cool. All right. So we all missed again last week in that case. Ryan back down 8 units. Still looking for that first win. He's gonna get it though. I believe in him. Jeez. Connor's up 13.25 units. I'm up 1.75 units. As a unit, we're up 13.25 units somehow. Shout out Connor.
You're holding on, Rob. Holding on.
I'm holding on. I've not been negative yet. Not yet.
Come to the dark side, brother.
I can get us kicked off here. I think it's been a while since I've gone first on the parlay here. So 3-legger as always. I've kind of established a tradition now with my 3-legger to where I go with a spread, I go with a money line, and I go with an over under. And I'm just gonna stick with that formula because I kind of like how that works out with everything. So the Eagles visit the Giants this upcoming weekend. The Eagles are only favored by 6.5. I know a lot of their games have been very close throughout the season. The Giants are booty cheeks, to be completely honest. And Jackson Dart does not inspire a lot of faith in me. Granted, it is an away game, and like I said before, the Eagles haven't been winning as much. I don't see any way that the Eagles don't win by a full touchdown here. So I'm going to take the spread at 6.5 there. I am going to the Big 12 conference in college football for the money line, coming off of a loss, but going against a team that has been uninspiring to say the least. Iowa State is taking on Colorado this weekend. I'm taking the money line for Iowa State there. Colorado has not really done anything this season. They've been pretty bad in all honesty, and I think even the spread to me was pretty disrespectful, but I think that's just a little bit of an overreaction after Iowa State lost to Cincinnati. I don't think there's really any way that they lose to Colorado this weekend. And then my third leg is going to be an over-under going to the SEC, Arkansas versus Tennessee. The over-under is set at 68.5. I'm going with the under there. I know both those teams put up a decent amount of points, but that's a lot of points. That's a lot of points, and I don't feel like they're going to get to that level. Unfortunately, I don't know what the odds are. I can put that in while you guys go, but those are my 3 legs. So there you go. Who wants to go next?
I mean,
I would like to go.
Let's just get this over with.
Ryan's in pain.
Instilling confidence.
I got an all-time sicko game between the Raiders and the Titans. Just wanted to point that out. Not that I want to bet on it. I just wanted to point that game out as something I want to avoid at all costs. We're just going to the NFL because it's what I want to go with this week. We'll see. We got the Bills going into Atlanta. Bills are favored by 3.5. I think they're way better than Atlanta. I don't think that's enough points. I'll take the Bills to cover 3.5. Then we will go to the Great Midwest, where the Colts are hosting the Arizona Cardinals. Colts are favored by 6.5 because Robbie's going to be in attendance. Colts are going to cover. Colts are going to cover. And then we're going to take the over-under in the Miami-Los Angeles Chargers game, which is set at 42.5. I don't think that's enough points because Miami has a defense of a wet paper towel, and I think their last 4 games have gotten 52 plus. So we will we'll pick that over. I don't know what those odds are. That's what I got.
There you go.
Robbie? Thanks for not having your odds, guys. It makes my job way harder when I have to do the stats.
I've got him now.
Unless you miss. Then it's very easy. What are your odds, Connor?
Plus 511.
Okay. All right.
So there we go. That's about where.
So my boosts don't count that I won't.
Boosts do not count. Don't put a boost on. For mine, I got 2 NFL legs and an NHL leg. I'm going to go ahead and steal something from the podcast notes here. The hockey is back tonight. James, I don't know if you're a big hockey guy. Or you just have USA hockey hats, so we'll make sure to hit on that a little bit more here in a little bit. But the Colorado Avalanche playing at the Los Angeles Kings tonight. Take the Avalanche there in opening night to find a way to get the win. I think they're favored by 1.5, so I'm going to take the Avalanche there. I also have a leg from the Thursday night game. A little bit opposite what Connor did, though. I'm going to take the Giants to cover the first half spread of 3.5. Eagles been a little bit slow. I don't know that they're going to jump out on them all that fast, so I like the Giants to cover 3.5 in the first half. And then last but not least, we'll touch on it in the NFL preview, I'm sure. The Dallas Cowboys coming to town to play the Carolina Panthers this weekend. Nice. I got my boy T-Mac to score a touchdown because the Cowboys defense is atrocious. T-Mac is that
I've never heard.
So all that together, I got plus 819 on that parlay.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
I'm nervous for James because it seemed like he was a sicko parlay.
He's got something cooked up good here. I already know.
For real.
I am a sicko, and we established before the podcast, canonical big wife guy. He love my wife, awesome. She came up with what she calls her Atlanta parlay because she believes not all 3 colleges in Atlanta can win at one time. So I've got the parlay for the 3 Atlanta schools that we got in town. First one, straight money line, all 3 money lines. I couldn't get her to go more in depth than that. Kennesaw State will defeat Louisiana Tech.
Ooh, okay, love it. I like it. Hootie hoo.
Yep. Georgia State will upset App State.
Okay.
120.
She's a current employee, so that she has to pick them. That adds up. Yeah.
100% is there. Yep. So, and then now here's the loser. The big money ticket is that Virginia Tech upsets Georgia Tech at plus 450.
Oh,
yeah. That is the big.
Almost was my super dog.
Yeah.
What are the odds on that? Do you have them put together?
I was doing it in case he didn't have it.
I do not have it put together.
Did you say Kennesaw State to win?
Yeah, Kennesaw State money line, Georgia State money line, and then Virginia Tech money line.
Yep.
See if Ryan. Let's see how fast Ryan is with on the Sportsbooks app. are you using, which one do you use, Ryan? FanDuel?
I'm just
or
using DraftKings right now because it's the
you.
one that doesn't hate me.
Yeah.
Georgia State to win, and what was the last one?
Virginia Tech.
That was scrolling.
The last one to win there.
I went outside anything you guys have been doing here on the podcast.
Yeah.
That's fair. Numbers to stay where they're at, so I didn't want to throw any of my sicko mode comments in there to see it sway anything.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
That's a juicer. That's an absolute juicer. We have so on DraftKings, just because. Okay, thank you. Show me what I'm looking at. Love you.
Too many
Kennesaw State money line plus 200.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia State money line plus 114.
Mm-hmm.
Virginia Tech money line plus 440. You sprinkle those all together. That's a big plus 3,366.
I feel like we gotta take the guess.
Got to listen. I see big number after plus sign, and I take it. I'm not complicated. I did want to mention a bet that I saw earlier when I was scrolling through looking for mine. You can bet on when you think the Jets will win their first game. Let me run through a few of these with you guys because it's kind of fun.
It ain't happening this week.
It's not happening this week. Let me just a second to get pulled back up.
Oh my god. They play while Robbie's doing that. The Jets host the Broncos this week. Yeah. Then they host the Panthers.
Yeah, that's going to be it. That's just going to be their first
win. Then they come to Cincinnati.
Oof.
I mean, they play the Panthers, the Bengals, and the Browns.
Oof.
In order.
If they can't get a win on
you have one of three. One of those.
So I'll tell you on my favorite bet of this. I'm going to run through a couple. So the Panthers is their best odds chance to win a game right now, plus 120. Mm-hmm. Followed by the Bengals. Or sorry, actually the Broncos is plus 300 right now. Interesting. That's your second best chance. Bengals plus 460. Browns plus 800. Let me tell you guys the bet that I like. Just because it's a big number and it'd be really funny. The Jets visit the Bills the last week of the season. There's a pretty good chance that Buffalo has wrapped up their regular season and already have their playoff seeding locked, all of those things. If the Jets roll in there 0-16, needing a win, if you took them to beat the Bills right now to be their first win, that's plus 30,000. Now, hear me out. Like, if they're going to bench all their Bills are resting, that could be a move.
What's the Patriots the week before? Because if the Patriots
plus 25,000. I have a feeling the Patriots will still be like fighting for a wild card spot in week 17. I feel like, but
I agree. I like that, Robbie. That's a really good point.
That could be interesting. Plus 30,000 is it's a big number for the fact that the Bills probably aren't playing Josh Allen.
Roll a dollar on it,
right?
I'm looking at the Jets' schedule. They have the weakest schedule in the NFL. Panthers, Bengals, Browns, at Ravens, who are 1-4, Falcons, Dolphins, Jags, Saints. Like those are just the shitters. Besides, we're just leaving out the Raiders, but and
Saints
the Cowboys.
Saints at plus 10,000 is interesting.
How many games does they have to lose straight?
That's a lot.
7-8 games in a row?
They'd be 0-15 at that point. 0-14.
I like the
at that point you're just donating it for the Bills and the plus 30,000, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. Speaking of the Jets, we're going to get into the NFL and this past week as well as the upcoming week. I do want to quickly address just a quick headline. The Cincinnati Bengals have acquired Joe Flacco in a trade with the Cleveland Browns. Cincinnati will give up a 5th-round draft pick for Flacco. Cleveland will also give up a 6th-round pick as part of the deal. Ryan, as a Cincinnati Bengals homer, Joe Flacco, baby.
What my girlfriend, longtime Bengals fan, texted me. She's like, Flacco, really? I'm like, I don't. It's him or Jake Browning, who Jake Browning is a career backup. He's just not going to get you what you need. Bengals are 2-3. They give up a 5th-round pick and get back a 6th-round pick. Just try to change something up. Maybe with how weak the division has looked, right? Like the Ravens are 1-4, the Steelers, whatever. Browns suck. If you can somehow be 500 by the time that Burrow comes back at like week 15
somehow,
like I don't know. I don't think it's a bad move.
Flacco's just going to die.
That's what I mean. The O line is awful. Why would you put Flacco behind that?
He's just going to get hurt.
I understand the train of thought. We had a good quarterback named Joe, so let's get another quarterback named Joe, and this might pan out. I see the thought process, no doubt.
That's a Jerry Jones-esque move.
What I need is for Flacco to show up in like one of Burrow's outfits to like the first game, so he can also be Joe Cool. Like that would be sick.
That would be kind of sick.
Tough.
But yeah, to go through quickly some of the games this past week, the only one that went to overtime was between the 49ers and the Rams, 26-23. That was the Thursday night game of this past week. Kind of surprising. I mean, the Niners, I don't really know what's going on with the 49ers, in all honesty. They're one of the more confusing teams to me this year, but they have 4 wins. So, I don't know.
Mac Jones.
Yeah, no, actually, like that's really what it is.
It's just some other white quarterback who's just piloting the Niners to victory. And I just think the Niners sacrificed all of their other players to be hurt for Christian McCaffrey to be turning back the clock and just him once again.
Exactly. Congratulations to Spencer Rattler and the New Orleans Saints for getting his first career win and their first win on the season. Granted, it was over the New York Giants, so not the most impressive win ever, but they did get a win 26-14. Geno Smith is bad. I'm coming on this podcast and saying that.
I've been saying it. I got a lot of hate for it. He's not a good quarterback.
Yeah, he is playing atrociously, which is funny comparatively to Daniel Jones, who is playing very well this season, kind of out of nowhere. 40-6 for the Colts. The Colts on a little bit of a roll there, 4-1, and obviously the Raiders, the opposite of that at a 1-4 record. I'm trying to think of the other biggest ones I want to talk about. I know he's out, and I know a lot of the defense is injured, but the Baltimore Ravens losing 44-10 to the Houston Texans was confounding. I was astonished. I was like, what is going on? But yeah, Cooper Rush throwing 3 interceptions does not help.
Doesn't help.
And Derrick Henry only running for 33 yards. What's going on with him?
Is it? Can we call it yet?
Is he washed? Are we playing watch or not with Derrick Henry right now?
It's running backs, man. They just go downhill so fast, and really like there hasn't been an injury, right? If there was an injury, we'd be like, oh, he's just banged up, right? He's just taking it easy, coming back. He's just looked like shit.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see. So Robbie, you want a quick congratulations? Panthers over the Dolphins.
We're back again. We're back again for the second time this season. We're back.
Hey, that was a huge play to seal the game. That was a great play call.
And like honestly, like rallying from 17-0 down, like it looked like it's gonna be the Patriots again, and they didn't let it happen. 9-8 still in the cards, baby. It's still there. It's not likely, but it's still in the cards.
I wonder if I have a cash out for that yet.
That'd be crazy. Probably. I hope not. That'd be really bad on the sportsbook's part.
Speaking of the Patriots, getting a huge win at the Buffalo Bills, 23-20. Kind of a weird game here. Stephon Diggs obviously having himself a game. Drake May having a very solid season on the New England Patriots. Just a divisional matchup that you do not expect to drop if you're the Buffalo Bills, but obviously have. So,
is it safe to say that Drake may outplay Josh Allen in this game?
Safe to say.
This game.
Yeah. I think there's maybe.
Their stats are pretty similar.
Yeah,
May
Allen
just didn't have
more
interception
on
or
the ground.
touchdowns. Well, yeah, of course.
But I mean, Well, Drake May is
he's a decent runner
too.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that interesting there. And then the last game that I do want to talk about this past weekend was the game that concluded the entire weekend, Monday Night Football. The Jacksonville Jaguars are good. The Jacksonville Jaguars are a good NFL team, winning 31-28 over the Kansas City Chiefs. Robbie, how does it feel as a Trevor Lawrence certified hater?
When I was watching this game last night, I spent the whole first half. I was like, man, I'm so right about Trevor Lawrence. Like he's just not him. Like I'm just so incredibly right, and everyone is wrong. And then I wasn't right anymore. And that last play, the touchdown to win the game, I surrender Coburn for Jacksonville fans when he fell down. Like, I'm laying in bed like this, like, oh my God, he fell down with no timeouts. And then Chris Jones just took a fucking nap in the middle of the play and let him go and score. It was a crazy play. Mahomes looked better last night. Like, I think he looked a little bit more like old Mahomes. I think getting Rashee Rice back will be huge because obviously having Xavier Worthy back was huge last night.
Yeah, who also got like kind of hurt again last night.
Just made of paper, just paper
crazy, dude. Yeah, when Tyquan Thornton is your leading receiver for the Chiefs, like
Tyquan Thornton.
Yeah,
Tyquan Thornton slander.
Yeah, for I also, to back up your point a little bit about your Trevor Lawrence hate, Robbie, that play where it was the QB sneak / tush push or whatever, and he got the ball knocked out of his hands. You have to have a death grip on that ball. Yeah. I did not understand. He had a loose grip on that ball.
What were the odds on Mahomes and Lawrence being the leading rushers for each of their teams in this game? Because that had to be crazy.
Jesus,
they were both scrambling all night. It was really interesting to watch.
I mean, the Jags are a fourth quarter BTJ dropping masterclass away from being 5-0.
Yeah.
After they blew that game to the Bengals, which I would have lost the house on the Jags being 5-0 at this point in the season, looking at their schedule. But here they are.
Here we are.
Or, excuse me, 4-1.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the biggest games I wanted to cover from this past week. Everything kind of mostly shook out the way that I think people expected to go with the rest of the game. So we'll look at the few of the ones coming up this next week.
I did want to have like a couple of news things.
Yeah, sure.
Odell Beckham Jr. just accepted a 6-game PED suspension from the NFL. Really.
What's bro doing PEDs for? Cardio?
Delaying the star wide receivers comeback to town.
It's crazy.
He's 33. Hang it up, Unc. And then I don't know. And then shout out my favorite team's owner, Jerry Jones. He got fined $250,000 for flipping the bird at some Jets fans at Sunday's game.
Kind of funny.
He called it unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the most respect I've had for Jerry Jones in a long time.
I wish I could also call being fined $250,000 unfortunate. That's the kind of wealth I aspire to. But there we go.
I do want to mention. Oh no, do you have something to say, James?
I said keep wiping my eyes with dollar bills and keep moving.
Correct. Yeah.
Jerry Jones mantra.
I do have to mention that we've talked about the hot dog punishment on the podcast. James is also a part of said hot dog punishment. And you are looking.
There's nothing to about, brother. I'm cooked.
Yeah, Ryan's a little cooked, but me and James are both 2 and 3. Ryan's 0 and 5. So none of us are out of the danger zone at all. So that's a tough look.
Just in case people are listening, we're gonna go through my team because you brought this up. I didn't bring it up myself. Lost Joe Burrow week 1. Oh. Tough. Xavier Worthy made a glass. We've discussed. Yeah. See, had James Conner.
Tough.
Picked up Trey Benson.
Tough. I did the same thing.
Auto drafted Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. Tough. I've already Aaron Jones. He's been dropped. Our benches are only 5 deep. And then the people who are actually playing, Marvin Harrison, bum.
He's been better. He's been better last
Chase
year.
Brown.
Yeah, that's just the Bengals.
Right that's just because he doesn't have Joe Burrow.
It's just GG's, honestly. So the punishment is 70.5 glizzies down the throat in a week. I've appealed to see if I can get that sentence reduced if I live stream it. Maybe cut down on the glizzy work because my body is going to be in a fucking blender. That's so much sodium. I got to do the math. How much sodium?
You're literally walking around like the fucking Kool-Aid man. I've told people this punishment, like, it's not that bad. I'm like, do you know how much 70.5 hot dogs is? Like, that's a lot of fucking hot dogs.
Do we get to choose the hot dogs? Can I go for like the low sodium Nathans or something?
Yeah,
you should be able to choose.
As long as they're full size hot dogs, I don't have a problem with you picking the brand.
The skinless beef franks have 400 milligrams of sodium, huge. The skinless hot dogs are 1,200 milligrams of sodium. Brother, I'd be in a fucking coma if I tried to eat 70 of those in a week.
Somebody's got to be pounding.
We were discussing how to keep track and make sure you do this punishment, because we've had many issues in the past, people not doing punishments.
Yeah, we really have.
We were discussing, like, do we need to just have you send a snap of every glizzy? Like, that'd go kind of hard.
That's why I'm saying I truly think it would be fucking hysterical if I created a brand new TikTok account, fresh virgin TikTok account, no likes, no interactions, and I'd just go live.
That's awesome.
And just let people naturally, come across a channel.
It's not going to be natural. That's going to be blasted on every social media platform I have access to.
Sharing it to all my content.
Any of my friends that somehow are like, talk to Olivia, who's like a fashion influencer and then has how many tens of thousands.
Oh, that's a good, Simply Style Sisters can sponsor the live stream. That'd be sick.
You have to pay her to get that link posted.
She might do that for free, not going to lie. I think we can make that work.
So I think the worst part about that whole challenge is going to work.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to
take a week off.
I'm going to have to at least bring 3 to 4 glizzies into work.
So, all right, hear me out. Here's how you make it.
James.
Tupperware, dude. You have to bring Tupperware to work. Multiple days.
Are you having hot dogs again? And it's only day 2. You're like, I gotta do it 3 more
man.
I have an idea of how you can make this more fun, just a little bit more expensive. If you just want to take the week off work, you could just wait until baseball's back and go on a little baseball road trip and have some glizzies in each stadium kind of thing, and make a little road. Like,
brother,
that could be fun.
I just don't want to do that. Leave the comfort of my own home for this.
That's fair.
This is pain.
I love that Robbie's like, okay, you got 10 dogs a day plus 10 hours. Good luck.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Making it harder on you. It was just a suggestion. It could be fun.
Yeah, but you might lose, Robbie.
So what's, and we're off on a tangent because this has been living rent free in my head. So do you think it's advisable to do glizzies for breakfast, or am I doing like 5 and 5? Like lunch and dinner.
Many in one
sitting. I think maybe you take down like 2 at breakfast, then go 4 and 4.
Do you have to have a bun with every?
Oh, brother, yeah.
That's the hard part. It would be. I actually don't think it would be as difficult if there was not a bun.
Brother, I'd be cutting the weenies up in like some mac and cheese. Facts, we'd be having some, variety.
Ryan, what are you complaining about? Joey Chestnut does it in the afternoon. I don't know what you're...
He does it in like 30 minutes, dude. Like, it's not
really. It's chill. Just ask him. Just reach out and be like, hey, having my first glizzy eating competition.
Do I blend the buns?
Oh, gross.
At one point in the challenge, am I like...
I got to get some liquids.
Liquid's going to be coming out of them. I'll tell you what.
Thanks, Connor. That's what I need. All right. Well, we can continue.
You're gonna have to go in the guest bathroom that whole week. Like, you're not gonna be allowed in the master that whole week. No way.
Jeez.
I'm really not looking forward to this.
You're not out of it yet. You're not out of it yet.
Come on. Gotta hold hope.
Your team's not that bad.
Well, because thank God this league has not been like focused on the waiver wire, because I picked up Javonte Williams as well as like Quinshon Judkins, like these guys that have been just chilling on the waiver wire. I've been able to add. So when CD comes back, Rashee Rice,
I think
Trey Benson, maybe we might have a chance.
Benson. James, I think we're in a little bit of danger. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, dude. Do not underestimate my ability to implode. Like, it will happen.
Who's the other? Oh, there's more 2 and 3 teams.
Hayden and Ross. I have Ross this week, like a huge week for me, to be honest. Got to come.
I have Ryan this week.
Oh,
do I give his first weeks
in the league?
Well, you know what's funny is Zach has the second least amount of points scored.
Started on Zach, dude.
Yeah.
Dude has been just chilling in his matchups.
Me and Hayden are just getting bent over right now.
You have the most points scored against you in the league. That's tough.
I have the second most points scored, but the most points scored against me. So naturally, I'm 2 and 3 in 4th place.
Tough. GG's.
So yeah, let's move on so we can get through the rest of this. The NFL, go very, very quickly through this preview because there are only really a few interesting games. One of the big ones, obviously, the Detroit Lions take on the Kansas City Chiefs Sunday night prime time. That's obviously I think probably would have been bigger if the Chiefs weren't 2 and 3, but regardless,
2 and 4.
Yeah,
probably
for sure.
I think it could happen. I think it could definitely happen, but they are at home. I mean, that's always advantageous for the Chiefs specifically. So I think that, but I agree, Rob. I think that the Lions will probably end up taking this one. Another one to look at, I would definitely say, is the 49ers versus Buccaneers, both 4-1 teams. That's a pretty big matchup on Sunday afternoon.
Baker Mayfield.
So ready, dude. Big 4-1 matchup. Loving it.
Exactly. Everything else, I mean, not really Eagles Giants. I mean, most of these games aren't catching my eye.
Can we stop sending New York teams to Europe and making the Europeans watch the Jets and Giants in those games? Like, what are we doing?
Wasn't it last year the Jags had like 3 international games or something like that?
They have to contractually play more. Like, I think they have to play at least 2 in London. Like, we had the Panthers and Giants in Munich last year. Like, that's bad. And now we have the 0-5 Jets playing the Broncos at 9:30 in London. Like, it's not a good look for the league. I just can't get on board with that.
It's not, but I'm guessing it's just it's like the New York market is the reason that they send the teams. But yeah, send one of the. I mean, send the Chargers. Like the LA, they're better than the New York teams. So, and then the last game I'm going to mention this upcoming week, Dallas Cowboys at the Carolina Panthers. What do we expect? Both 2-win teams. What do we expect out of this one, gentlemen?
49.5 points is not enough.
Yeah, agreed.
Both teams going for 30.
You're looking at 2 of the worst defenses in football right here. So,
flip side of the coin, Steelers Browns total set at 38.5. So if you want to see some grown men hit each other in the mouth and not put the ball in the end zone, that's the football for you.
That feels like too many points.
I agree. Was just about to say. Honorary Toilet Bowl. I think I mentioned it already. The Titans travel to Las Vegas to play the Raiders, a couple of 1-4 teams throwing sand at each other. And the biggest line of the week is the Packers are favored 14.5 against the Bengals. Robbie, what do we always say when we see 2 touchdown dogs in the NFL?
You take the dog.
Are we doing that for this game?
Absolutely. It's Joe Flacco legacy game, baby. We're locked in.
Hey, when he went to the Browns and like the first time, he was really good for those 4 games.
So is this like the Baker to the Rams version where Flacco comes in and just goes crazy? Sure. Okay. I get it.
We didn't even mention the shenaniganery of the Titans touchdown last week where they Cam Moore threw an interception and then it got fumbled and they recovered in the end zone for a touchdown and then beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals are ass, dude. You cannot lose this Titans team like that. That's terrible.
No, they're so bad.
Worst 2-3 team in the league.
Yes. The NFL, why are all the teams like bad?
Everyone sucks.
We do this every year, bro. There's like 4 good teams and then everyone else is buns.
Yeah, well, not totally wrong. So yeah, quickly going to go through the MLB postseason. It is in the divisional round right now. The Detroit Tigers are beating the Mariners, the Detroit Tigers are tied with the Mariners 1-1. The Toronto Blue Jays are beating the New York Yankees 2-0.
Live score updates: Mariners up 8-1, bottom 9. Blue Jays up 6-3, top 4.
There you go. The Dodgers are currently up on the series against the Phillies 2-0, and
sorry,
the Milwaukee Brewers are up on the Chicago Cubs in the divisional series 2-0 as well. So yeah, the only split series right now between the Tigers and the Mariners. So we will see how everything shakes out there as we get closer to the World Series. We can
I know the Blue Jays are the 1 seed in the AL. But the cope out of the Yankees, if they get the brooms out from the divisional opponent, would be hysterical. Also, shout out Reds getting just ass blasted by the Dodgers in the wild card round. I think everyone and their mother saw that coming, but they at least got there because the Mets didn't, which makes Robbie very happy. Robbie and James.
I love seeing the NL East suffer, just all around suffering.
I love seeing the Astros not make it. I mean, there's definitely some hate watching involved for sure.
So yeah, and then Robbie mentioned it a while ago, but the NHL season, the puck did drop tonight. James, obviously, we usually call Robbie our resident expert, meaning he knows a little bit more than Ryan and I, who basically know nothing about hockey. Obviously, you seem to be more of a hockey guy. Is there anything that you want to put forward for the season, or anything that you are looking at when it comes to
Stanley Cup champion right now on the hot seat? Who is it?
I think the Florida Panthers do it again.
Wow. The 3P. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I think it's time, and hockey's got to the point to where it's going to happen eventually. I think they're the team to do it, to be honest. They just won, just right this second against the Blackhawks, which were a pretty good team last year too. So I think, stage is set for success.
Has there been a three-peat in the NHL, or how recent was the last time there was a three-peat?
Maybe like Gretzky, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is Gretzky probably. I can get that real quick.
I'm a filthy casual who wouldn't even begin to know the answer.
The Islanders three-peated in the 80s. And then the
go.
Canadians in the 50s and 70s, and then the Maple Leafs in the 40s and 60s. So it's not happened since the 80s with the Islanders. That's correct, actually. So the Canadians won 1976, 1979, and then the Islanders won 1980, 1982. So you had 6 years and only 2 champions. That's actually kind of crazy.
Okay, we are going to get into our last thing of the night. It is going to be a bracket. This is kind of a fun one more than anything. We're doing professional athletes that you would want as a college roommate. So I will say I did a little bit of a mix between athletes who are currently playing and athletes of yesteryear. So I did a mix of that. But we'll essentially imagine these athletes, let's say in their prime athletic days, everything like that. So, all right, here we go. We're going to do our bracket. It is 16 seeds. We have athletes as college roommates, like I said before, kind of combination of athletes that are currently playing and some that are either retired or, washed. We'll go with our first matchup here. Johnny Manziel versus Kevin Durant. What do we think?
I'm not jonesing to pick either.
College roommate. Yeah, sure. By the way, the seeds are irrelevant. I just completely put it randomized because we're all gonna have different opinions on what makes a good college roommate. So
James said he's going Durant.
Going Durant solely because I do not like either one of these picks. I'll be upfront with you. Durant can reach higher things on shelves for me. That's the decider.
Sure.
I like that.
So here's my take. So they're both gonna be really messy roommates. Like neither of these guys are cleaning up after themselves. I just feel like KD would be a little stinky. Like he's too busy on Twitter all day to like shower or do anything. Like I just feel like he'd be a little stinky in the room. You know what I mean? So like for that reason, like Manziel would be a great time to go out with. Like you love having Manziel as a roommate Friday and Saturday night. And then the rest of the week when he's still being a problem is when you're like, dude, like, come on, we gotta actually do school at some point. So, but I'm gonna go with Manziel.
Right.
I think I'd go with Manziel too. I just feel like I'd get along with Manziel a little bit more than KD, and I feel like that's about as far as it goes. But neither of these two jokers would be home much, right? Like,
yeah.
KD
would be. KD would either be in the gym or tweeting in his bed. Those are the two places. You would always know where to find him.
Here's why I'll also go with Johnny Manziel. With Johnny Manziel, you know what you're getting. Kevin Durant is just like, he is a backstabbing kind of like, he doesn't call it like it is. He's very under the radar. It's like you have no idea what's going on. At least with Manziel, I know what I'm getting. With Durant, I have no idea. So I'm going with Manziel there. Our next matchup here, I kind of love this matchup. Jameis Winston versus Baker Mayfield.
We got to think this is in college, right?
Yeah,
so not now. This is them in college.
I feel like if I was like putting together like my suite of like guys, like I feel like these guys might both be in there. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. If I'm picking 3, like these might both be in there for sure.
Yeah. Well, if we are taking them by their college age, I think that I like Baker significantly more now because I think he has matured a bit since college. So I would definitely, if we're taking them at their college age,
this is also.
I mean, we had the whole crab legs incident.
That's hilarious. but Winston at least gives me like motivational speeches. He's an upbeat, like happy guy. I would go with Winston here if we're going based off college age.
I would too.
Yeah, I'm going Winston as well. He and I are already tied. I sacked him in high school, actually.
Oh, there you go.
He went to Hueytown High School, and I went to Walker, now Jasper High School. We played them.
That's awesome.
So we got stuff to talk about. Maybe I'll try again and get creamed.
First time we've had an actual athlete on the podcast, excluding Robbie. Robbie did play in high school.
I wasn't sacking Jameis Winston, that's for sure.
Robbie, would you go with Jameis,
or
would you go with Baker?
Yeah, I'd go Jameis.
Next matchup, we have 2 guys that I think are like pretty chill for the most part. Marshawn Lynch versus Damian Lillard.
So if Marshawn is stealing, but listen, in college, if he's out there just stealing the cart in the middle of a football game, imagine the shenanigans you're gonna get into when the cameras aren't on. Like you're just gonna have stories galore with Marshawn Lynch. Like, yeah, he's a little bit of a quirky guy. We all have had quirky roommates here, though, and like those are the guys you love to have around. So like I would go with Marshawn. Dame's a little too intense for me. Just a little too intense.
All right. We will. I think it's well reasoned. We'll move on. Marshawn there. Next, we have Cam Newton versus Charles Barkley. Cam Newton's kind of insane. Cam Newton's kind of a psychopath.
Yeah. He also might steal your laptop.
College Chuck.
Robbie knows all the lore. It's crazy.
I forgot about the stolen laptop. That's funny as hell.
It was his
Chuck
mom.
is funny. Chuck is so funny though. I don't know, man. I just think you would get into some fun situations with Chuck.
You would, like, if you're in like a little like just like normal dorm room with the 2 beds. Like at some point you're like, Chuck, you gotta be quiet, man. Like we don't have to talk all the time. Like we can sit here in silence. That'd be my only concern with Chuck.
Yeah. So which way are we leaning? Yeah. Ryan?
I'd probably go Cam. Yeah.
Okay. Robbie, you're going.
I'm going Chuck still. I'm going with the Chuck.
We'll move Barkley on. Next, we have Tiger Woods versus Conor McGregor.
I don't live with either of these guys.
Yeah,
like at all.
What? It's tough.
I don't either. I didn't make it like the best roommates. It was kind of some guys with the biggest personalities and everything like that. So I was trying to throw in the mix, but I think Woods is less insufferable than McGregor was like at his prime and everything.
You always don't have the threat of violence against you.
With
Tiger Woods, like with McGregor.
But if you get McGregor on your side, he'll
true.
beat the shit out of anybody.
For the squad. That's a good point.
Muscle. Good point.
So, I don't know. I'm actually kind of torn between these two because Tiger's gonna be like cheating on his wife, and I'm gonna be like, I don't know.
But see, Tiger in high school or in college is still like straight laced though. Like I feel like
he was. No, you're right.
He was just golfing. That's all he was doing.
I'd go Tiger here.
Tiger.
Robbie.
Would you get free Irish whiskey if McGregor was your
He didn't have that brand back then, though.
That's right.
Next, we have LeBron James versus Jason Kelce. Big dudes. Some big
large
dudes.
men.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be Kelce.
I'm Kelce 100%.
Personally.
Yeah. He's so nice.
And that's I'd probably pick LeBron over majority of these jokers that have been named.
Agree.
But I think Kelce also would be just a great roommate.
I feel like Brown would be a better roommate now that he's gotten into wine. Like I feel like wine drunk LeBron is probably a great time. Like no doubt.
He won.
You need to set up a little mansion with the boys. Like now in your life, like LeBron is that dude to have at the crib for sure at the boys' mansion.
What were you saying, James?
I was gonna say a little Merlot and Fortnite on the couch with LeBron. I mean, what do you mean?
Taco LeBron? Tuesday with LeBron, dude. They go crazy.
Next match we have is Shaquille O'Neal versus Rob Gronkowski. I hate Shaq, man. Rob is a headache.
Is Gronk too stupid?
I see what you're. I see what the.
I might
come to the word I was going to use, but I pivoted on that one.
Like start with Shaq. Is he so big? Like, where do you fit in this space? Because Shaq's taking all of it.
Too.
Yeah, he's taking all of the space.
Point.
Like you're getting just a little corner, and that's it.
Well, we don't know what kind of configuration it is.
I mean, Shaq was in a twin XL. That's what he was sleeping on.
Exactly. I would go Shaq personally. I don't. Everybody else agree, or are we diverging? All right, we'll go Shaq. Last match of the first round, I have Travis Kelce versus Chad Johnson. Ocho Cinco. Chad Johnson would make me laugh my ass off, dude.
And he just played games with you too. Like you just boot up the Madden with Ocho Cinco and just chill. Like,
and he's cheap. He's not always trying to go out and spend a whole lot of money.
This is a great point. Dude, some of his stories on Ryan has sent me clips of him on podcasts and stuff. He is
damn. You ain't gonna heal.
Love that club, dude. It's so good. All right, we'll move on. Chad Johnson there. Second round, Johnny Manziel versus Jameis Winston. I would go Winston here personally.
Easy Jaboo pick here.
I think this just shows our age a little bit. Like I feel like if you were in college, you'd love to have Johnny Manziel as a roommate, but now that you're not and you're old and you have like a job, you're looking back like I would actually like to get some sleep every now and then and like not know what random people are coming through my place all the time. So
that's what I mean. Like Manziel would give me too much anxiety.
Yeah,
I just wouldn't want to be around that all the time. Where Winston, Winston's spitting games sometimes. Marshawn Lynch versus Charles Barkley. I actually don't know who I would go with.
Similar personalities for sure.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm thinking with Lynch is kind of the opposite coin of Manziel. It's the same stuff, but it's more chill. You understand what's happening.
Yeah.
You're in there.
Good point.
There's a mode to it, if you will, a beast.
Yeah.
But
it's a good point.
If you will.
Yeah, I actually don't know who I would go with, but
I also I brought up the whole that Chuck would never shut up thing, and like that would probably just drive me up a wall. like Marshawn has like other hobbies too. Like he's like doing photography.
Yeah, true.
Like you'd still get into some shenanigans, but like he's just an interesting guy. I think I'd go beast mode.
All right, let's go Marshawn Lynch. Next we have Tiger Woods versus Jason Kelsey.
It's not really close to me, honestly.
Yeah.
It's Jason Kelsey.
It's Kelsey.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Last matchup of the second round, Shaquille O'Neal versus Chad Johnson. I think this is where it's like close enough for me where I bring Shaquille's like size into the conversation to where I'm like, he is just so large.
Like, I can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. But again, it's also that point of like the Conor McGregor thing. Like if he's on your side, nobody's messing with you. You know what I mean? So it's kind of. But I would go Chad Johnson. I just think that would be more fun. In the semifinals, we have Jameis Winston versus Marshawn Lynch.
This is a tough matchup.
This is tough.
It is.
I think this is a tough one. Jameis.
We are showing our age, though. By the way, that we have Jabu in the semifinals.
Come on now.
What did he get in trouble for that one time? He like stood up in the cafeteria and yelled something like obscene in college.
Marshawn Lynch
did? No, Jameis
did.
did.
Jameis.
Yeah,
actually, no. Jameis Winston at
Yelling
cafeteria scandal. Yeah, I actually have no idea. I'm gonna go. Yeah, this is. I don't know, man.
I think I'm going Jabu on this one personally.
You think so, Jameis Winston?
I agree with that. Yeah, I think Jameis is going to bring more to the table.
You know, I found out that dude was from Cincinnati. Didn't know that was happening here.
Yeah. Yikes. In our other match of the semifinals, we have Jason Kelsey versus Chad Johnson. I would go Jason Kelsey here. I think he's just the most
Kelsey all day.
chill overall. And then the finals, we have Jameis Winston versus Jason Kelsey. Love you, Jameis, but I think we do have to go Jason Kelsey for that one as well.
Jason.
He's just the most chill overall. With
a
little bit of a
in that, to be honest.
No, I'm not either. I will say. So yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, when I thought the segment was you're supposed to bring someone to the table, the only person I have written down is Jason Kelsey.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
That works out. Very much works out. So yeah, we will conclude the podcast there. That's basically everything we have for tonight. James, thank you so much for being on. Had a really good time chatting with you. Appreciate you being here. Robbie,
so
would you
handsome.
Like Robbie,
I
would
appreciate
you like
it, guys. Thank y'all. I really enjoyed myself. It was a good time.
Thanks.
Of course.
Thanks for coming on.
Welcome back.
We enjoyed having you.
Time.
We'll see how your picks line up, and you might be back on here in just a little bit to talk about the college football playoff. Who knows?
Yeah. Or maybe you and Ryan tie for last place and both have to eat glizzies on a live stream.
Yeah, that'd be good stuff.
But the real
lady in the Trampet.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what?
I'm the lady.
Sure. For myself, Ryan, Connor, and James, thank you guys again for listening. Go like, subscribe, comment, give us hate mail, all of those things. We love it. On all of our social media. Thanks again for listening, and please gamble responsibly.